games are my favorites. It's after strategy in ones like Rome, Total War, and RPGs. It's just because it's so cool. And to be able to do all this climbing and stuff and sneak up behind someone and kill them when they never even know you're there. The play style is something I find incredibly fun to do. Which is why I decided to play this game. We don't have to backstab anyone here, just slash this and And the first time I was doing this, I was saying, hang on, where's the rest of his army? His force is broken. It shall be a long while before he troubles us again. That was his force? That had to be, what, 30 men?
You listened. Were it that you'd listened in Solomon's temple, Altair, all of this would have been avoided.
I did as I was asked.
No, you did as you pleased.
Finally, someone else recognizes how much of an arrogant prick this guy is.
What are you doing?
There are rules. We are nothing if we do not abide by the Assassin's creed. 3 simple tenets, which you seem to forget. I will remind you. First and foremost, stay your blade.
From the flesh of an innocent. I know.
I'm fairly certain that's not one of the tenets,
leave to use it. If you are so familiar with this tenet, then why did you kill the old man inside the temple? He was innocent. He did not need to die. Your insolence knows no bounds. Make humble your heart, child, or I swear I'll tear it from you with my own hands. The second tenet is that which gives us strength. Hide in plain sight. Let the people mask you such that you become one with the crowd. Do you remember? Because as I hear it, you chose to expose yourself, drawing attention before you'd struck. The third and final tenet, the worst of all your betrayals. Never compromise the Brotherhood. Its meaning should be obvious. Your actions must never bring harm upon us, direct or indirect. Yet your selfish act beneath Jerusalem placed us all in danger.
Yes, well done, Altair. Bring the army of your sworn enemy to your hideout.
Was lost because of you.
We really don't need to say any more about what he's like.
But I cannot abide a traitor.
Okay.
I am not a traitor.
I don't think that knife can be very fatal unless you stab him properly. So do it right, would you? In the stomach? Seriously. Al-Mualim, you obviously aren't a very good assassin.
He's experiencing a far better adoption rate than the other subjects.
I'm still pulling him out. He's been in there way too long.
No, not yet. We're still so far from where we need to be.
We shouldn't risk it.
What's another hour or two?
Why don't we discuss this in the conference room? Give Desmond a minute to stretch his legs.
I really don't see the need.
Warren, please.
Fine.
Sorry about that. My roommate just walked in, and as I said in my Rome LP, I'm really not comfortable doing this in front of other people. So I switched off the recording. Now we're back to the part of the story I really don't enjoy.
You're questioning my authority in front of the prisoner. There's a word for that. I believe it's called insubordination.
And I don't appreciate you trying to kill him. There's a word for that, too. I believe it's called stupid.
Yeah, I'm sure some people can probably get more out of this real-world story in the first Assassin's Creed game, but it just doesn't do it for me. All I see is political mumbo-jumbo and random bullcrap that doesn't even need to be there.
He'll shut down, and then we'll have nothing.
We have nothing now.
But we will. We just need to have a little faith.
Fine. But I want you thinking of ways to improve his staying power. We can't afford to stop every time the man breaks a sweat. It's bad enough we have to traipse through all of these useless memories.
I'll do what I can.
Yeah, some of that may be interesting, but the main story that you get when you're outside the Animus just doesn't do it for me.
Man, I can't even change my clothes.
It gets a tad more interesting later on in the game, but I'm afraid that's about it.
We're done for
It
today,
doesn't
Mr.
get
Miles.
much better than
I
this.
suggest you return to your room and get some rest.
Random conversations about things that you don't even have a connection to and can't really be made to care about, as far as I'm concerned. It is so bloody annoying. There's a few interesting conversations you can get, but not many, I'm afraid. Not to mention, you can't run.
So you're really an assassin? Like Altair?
Yes and no.
What do you mean?
I was supposed to be one, but I ran away from the farm when I was 16.
Farm?
Yeah, that's what they called the place where I grew up. The farm. Like Messiah, I guess. Only not so, creepy.
Yeah,
It's a
I
small
guess
community in the
Messiah
middle of nowhere.
is a little
About 30 of
creepy.
us living, you know,
Anyways,
off the grid.
I don't
Why?
I don't
Thought
really
my
have a
parents were just
ton to
crazy
say
hippies trying
about
to
these
stick it to the
real-world
man, you know?
sequences.
My dad was
I
always
prefer
going on
the
about our
Animus
enemies, how
ones,
they'd be
to be
looking for us,
honest.
how we'd have to be prepared. No one ever came. Nothing ever happened.
Why'd you
As
run
I've
away?
said
I could
before,
never leave the compound.
this stuff
You
in
have
the
any
real
idea
world,
what it feels like being trapped
I'm
in a place,
always
knowing
a
there was a
little
whole
iffy
world
about
out there
it.
I'd never get to see?
Don't you miss your parents?
It's
No.
good, I
As far
suppose.
as I'm
It
concerned,
just doesn't
they
do
weren't
it
my
for me.
parents. They were my wardens, and I was their prisoner.
It sounds like they only wanted to protect you.
With all that's happened, I don't know. I guess they were right.
I'm sorry. I didn't mean to dredge up the past.
It's all right. Gives me something to think about.
Try and get some sleep. We've got a long day ahead of us tomorrow.
Got a question for you before I turn in.
Sure.
How did they find me? I mean, I haven't been anywhere near another assassin for 10 years.
Use your real name?
Nope. Not before today.
Credit cards?
Cash only.
Telephone?
There's no one to call.
Driver's license?
Motorcycle. Guilty pleasure.
There's your answer. Photo, fingerprint.
This is a drug company. What does Abstergo have to do with the DMV?
Desmond, these guys are everywhere. I'm sorry, I really can't talk about it.
Friggin' spectacular. Okay, let's go to bed so we can get this boring-ass real-world sequence over with.
Damn it, they locked the door.
Honestly, this is why I prefer the sequences in Assassin's Creed Revelations. You don't have a real world to go to. In the other games, at least those
Gotta
real
say,
world
that's a little creepy,
sequences
Doc.
are
Waking up,
interesting.
you standing over me. You been watching me sleep?
We're always watching you. Now
The
get up.
real world
We've got a lot of work to
sequences
do.
in this
Ooh, wonder
game
who I
are
get to kill
barely better
Don't
than
be so cavalier.
watching
Your
paint
ancestors
dry,
almost
honestly.
had the right idea, Mr. Miles. If the deaths of a few people, evil people, no less, could save the lives of thousands more, well, it seems a small sacrifice.
Yes, Doc.
What do you
Let's
mean
get your
almost?
mumbo-jumbo
They
out
didn't
of the
go far
way.
enough. To use a rather tired analogy,
And so I
corruption
can
is
get
no different
back
than
into the
cancer.
game and
Cut out
do
the
the
tumors,
interesting
but fail to
stuff.
treat the source and,
Killing
well, you're
people.
buying time at best. There's no true change to be had without comprehensive, systemic intervention.
Chemo for the masses.
Education, re-education, to be more precise. But it's not easy, and it doesn't always take.
Let me guess. You've got a better solution. What is it then?
Now that would be telling.
Yeah. Honestly, from what you find out at the end of the game and the beginning of and the end of Assassin's Creed 2, and no, I'm not going to say what that is, because I don't like spoilers, so why would I give any out? Anyways, from what you find out in that, I dislike that guy more than Altair at the beginning of this game. And that's saying something, because I really do not like Altair at the start of this game. As for why it's just at the start, stick around until I finish this and you'll know. Back into the Animus now, so we can do the stuff that I actually like.
With dead bodies, soldiers will leave their posts to investigate them, allowing you to enter the area they were guarding.
I am alive.
Yes, we're back
But
to
I
the
saw you
arrogant
stab me.
prick.
Felt death's embrace.
You saw what I wanted you to see, and then you slept the sleep
So
of the
I
dead,
only imagined you
of the
stabbing me. Is that
that
it?
you might awake and be reborn.
To what end?
Do you remember, Altair, what it is the assassin fight for?
Peace. In all things.
Yes, in all things. It is not enough to end the violence one man commits upon another. It refers to peace within as well. You cannot have one without the other.
So it is said.
So it is! But you, my son, have not found inner peace. It manifests in ugly ways. You are arrogant and overconfident.
Were you not the one to say that nothing is true and everything is permitted?
You do not understand the true meaning of the phrase, my child. It does not grant you the freedom to do as you wish. It is a knowledge meant to guide your senses. It expects a wisdom you clearly lack.
Yes,
Then what is to
honestly,
become of
from
me?
what I've seen
should kill you
in
for the
Altair
pain you
since
brought
the
upon us.
beginning of this game,
thinks it only
I'm
fair.
rather
Your
disappointed.
life in
He
exchange
doesn't
for his
seem
brothers.
like much of
But
an
this would be a waste
assassin.
of my time and your talents. You will see you have been
He
stripped
hasn't
of your
behaved
possessions.
very
Rank
professionally,
as well.
and he's
You are an
announcing
novice,
his presence
a
to his
child once
enemies.
more, as you were on the day you first joined our order.
So I'm with
I'm
him.
offering you a
I'm with
chance
the
at
dude in the
redemption.
black robe for this
You'll
one.
earn your way back into the Brotherhood.
I assume you've something planned.
First, you must prove to me you remember how to be an assassin.
So you'd have me take a life.
No, not yet, at least. For now, you're to become a student once again.
There is no need for this.
Others tracked your targets for you, but no more. From today on, you will track them yourself.
If this is what you wish,
It is.
then tell me what it is that I must do.
We have been betrayed. Someone was assisting Robert de Sable, one of our own. You must find him and bring him here for questioning.
What can you tell me of the traitor?
Ah, but that's just it. I've given you all I will.
All you will,
The
eh?
rest is up to you.
So, a typical assassin test, I imagine. Yeah, I've been demoted. Did multiple times. And I've lost my ability to do counter kills, as well as all my abilities and weapons, except for my hidden blade. I'm pretty sure that I kept the hidden blade. The hidden blade is the only weapon I have. Right now, this hidden blade is my only weapon beside my fists, which is quite annoying because if you want to kill enemies in this game, the counter kill ability is pretty much a necessity if you don't want to be playing Guitar Hero on their sword all day, which can get annoying, as I'm sure you've probably worked out by now.
Safety and peace, Altair.
You're in my way.
Yes, Al-Mualim has asked
What
that I
great
assist
manners you have,
Remind you
Altair.
how it is we hunt our prey.
I know how it works.
Be that as it may, I have no desire to disobey.
Then be quick.
The Assassin have many tools at their disposal.
Yes, yes. We can eavesdrop, we can pickpocket, or we can use violence to intimidate.
Good,
Yeah,
you
that's
remember.
so many
So you have me
tools.
walk amongst
We
the
have
others
a
and learn what I
total
can about the
of
traitor.
3
Yes.
at our
Begin
disposal.
by going to the village market. That's where we first spotted the traitor.
You know who it is?
Perhaps.
Then give me a name and let's be done with it.
That's not the way it works. Now go. And remember, begin your search in the village market.
The assassins have many tools at their disposal. 3. That's how many things they have to do their jobs. 3 separate tools. Full stop. I am not impressed. Okay, now on a similar related subject, the assassinations in this game are some of the most fun I've played in a stealth game in a long time. But there is one thing about them I don't like. The mini games you have to do to gain information. And in order to unlock the actual assassinations. There's 3 types of mini games that you can do. There's the eavesdrop one, where you sit on a bench and listen to someone. There is the pickpocket mini game, where you pick someone's pocket while in low profile. And the beat 'em up mini game, where you follow someone to a secluded location and beat them until they spill their guts. None of these are particularly interesting, and there are 9 assassination games and assassinations, excuse me, in this game. All of which require you to do 3 of these mini games in order to unlock them.
I know what I saw. Musun opened the gate. He let the Templars in.
Then you must tell Al-Mualim.
I can't. Masun did not act alone. Someone inside the fortress helped him.
What makes you say this?
He exchanges letters with someone inside. The basket weaver carries them for him.
That's no reason to stay silent.
Ah, but the weaver delivered him a letter just before the attack. I suspect it held the order to open the gate.
Then speak to the weaver. He can name Masun's accomplice.
He's disappeared, hiding for fear of being dragged into this.
Probably inside one of his own baskets.
That was terrible. People in this era just didn't know how to tell jokes, did they? Well, as you can see, that was the eavesdrop mini game. And there are those mini games I mentioned, and you have to do 3 for each assassination. And there are 9 assassinations in this game. So you will be doing quite a few of these mini games during the game. About 27, if my math's right. It was quite... and it can get quite tedious. That's one thing I don't like about this game. How it pretty much railroads you into doing these little mini-games. And even though there are more than just the couple, it doesn't give you anything extra for doing the additional missions. Like, there will be 9 things you can do, I think, or it could be 6. I don't remember exactly. It unlocks extra information for each one you do, but you don't get any benefit in your mission, which is quite irritating. But in addition to that, there are 9 of the things I mentioned, usually, plus in some of the cities you can do tasks for an assassin who's in that city, and he'll share some information with you. But none of them are particularly interesting. The assassinations are the best part of the game, but the parts where you actually have to find the information to unlock the assassinations are in fact quite tedious, though nowhere near as bad as the story in the real world. Apparently I'm too close to pickpocket. Not sure how that works.
We lost everything in
There's
the attack
dozens
and have no
of
place to store
people
our
who look
grain.
like Altair in this
I
town.
can't right now.
Why would he
I'm
be
busy.
suspicious?
Is this about the letter?
What letter?
The letter you received when I got here. Bad news?
I don't know what you're talking about. Listen, I'll see what I can do, but please, I need to be alone right now. Come back later.
As you wish.
That guy really doesn't know how to deal with other people right now, does he? Now I need to pickpocket this guy. And I take his thing, but he somehow doesn't see me and connect my presence to him being pickpocketed. As I've said before, the AI in this game is remarkably dumb. And that can get annoying sometimes. As I often find myself saying that I wish I could get a proper challenge out of the game AI. But it never works like that. Oh yes. Flags. A complete waste of time. That will do nothing but unlock frickin' achievements, which I don't care about.
Hear the things you say. A traitor.
Now,
I'm not a
someone
traitor.
I can beat
It's
up.
Al-Mualim who's betrayed us. 2 days' attack was but the first, and more will follow unless you repent. Give up your wicked ways. Rise up against the madman of Masyaf. See through his lies.
Not much of a speech, was it? They give pretty bad rants in this game. It can get a bit tedious sometimes, but it's just one of those things that's there. Like, this game has a lot of flaws, but is still enjoyable.